Hello, this is Vulturefire. Another day means that we are on another patch. Today's patch is 5030. The changes here are both more minor than on some of the previous patches and also pretty major at the same time. We got 3 new cards. I'll go over them later. It's not going to be relevant to today's video, I think. Some of the Paladin cards were changed, but the biggest thing is that a lot of the ways that we used to get purity have now been changed. So, as far as purity granting cards go, Goading Glare, which used to be Goading Stare, is now slightly different. It generates purity, but it's still a Goading card, which makes it, and a Paladin card, which makes it fairly narrow. Peace of Mind is still fine. Gleaming Aegis is now only 1 purity instead of 2. Prismatic Shield is now 3 mana instead of 2, and it gives you 2 more shield, but this was obviously intended to be a nerf. Blessed Strike also went from 2 to 4. Does 5x2 and gives purity 1. Revelation wasn't changed. Smite wasn't changed. Purging Water wasn't changed. Defensive Energy wasn't changed. But you'll notice that there's fewer cards here than there used to be. And specifically, we lost Warcry. Warcry is no longer a purity source. And Warcry is now an AoE weak source, which is nice though. But since it is no longer a purity source, that can be an issue. Calculated Deception now gives mana boost instead of purity, so that's lost as a purity source. So overall, we lost basically Peace of Mind is now even more important than it was before, because it is going to be one of your ways to get purity that is going to work nicely in basically any deck, that is going to be low cost, that upgrades to purity 2. It was already a pretty staple card in a lot of builds. It's now just even more important. However, the flip side of this, Cleanse is now reduced the rank of all debuffs by half, rounded up. So if in the worst case scenario, this is identical to old Cleanse, which is to say if you have 1 or 2 stacks of the debuff, you lose 1 stack like you would before. But if you have, say, 26 stacks of poison because you're fighting Demented Munchroom, you play Clear Focus, and now you don't have Clear Focus because it's Area 1. You have Cleansing Shield, which is now a little bit more expensive, but you play Cleansing Shield, and you were at 26 stacks of poison, now you're at 13, which is a meaningful decrease, unlike going from 26 to 25. We also got, this is one of our new cards, which is Cleanse Yourself 2 times, and you gain Tough 2 and 15 shield, and then you give 10 shield to all enemies. If you are a Dirtle deck, this card is incredible. It's a meaningful amount of shield. It is one of the best defensive buffs, and it is cleaning off basically everything. The other note here is that the order is different. This cleanses after you get shield. This one cleanses before. Why is that relevant? It's relevant because if you have, let's say, 1 frail or 2 frail, because it cleanses twice, if you have up to 5, if you have up to 5 frail, because at 5 you will lose half, which is, you'll have to lose half round up, which is 3, which takes you to 2. No, it's got to be, I'm trying to think how much you can have. I think it's actually 3, because 3 would cleanse to 1, which would cleanse to 0. Yeah, okay. So if you have 1, 2, or 3 frail and you play Sanctuary, you still get all that shield. Whereas with Cleansing Shield, if you had 1 or 2 frail, this would get rid of it, but you still would get less shield out of the Cleansing Shield, which wasn't a big deal if you didn't upgrade it, but it was a pretty big disincentive from upgrading it. And you upgrade this, then you were just like, ha, what's a debuff? Because cleansing yourself 3 times, you have, let's say you had 30 poison. You cleanse once, you're at 15. You cleanse twice, you're at 7. You cleanse 3 times, you're now at 3 poison. So that was 30 poison. You play Sanctuary Plus and you're at 3 poison. That problem is solved. And now with Cleanse 3, if you have up to 5 stacks of a debuff, that debuff is now gone. Curse is deleted when you play Sanctuary Plus. That's just a problem gone. So with that in mind, that is your recap of today's changes, which I am, and the changes to plating are worth mentioning. So plated, on 5,000, plated had gotten restricted so that more than 5 stacks was worthless. Now, you can keep more than 5 stacks and they'll have the full effect. But if you take an attack or a status hit that applies 0 damage, 0 status, or does 0 damage, at end of turn, you lose one of your plated stacks. This means that if you are stacking plated, then weaker enemies can potentially be a problem because they will steal your plated functionally. This makes, for example, but plated stacking will still be good, probably, because if you can stack more than 1 plated per turn, which I think that means basically if you're playing Salon. If you're playing Salon, you should still be able to stack plated up to obscene degrees. But if you're playing other characters, it'll be somewhat trickier. The flip side of this, though, is that it makes managing Emerald Dragon a little bit easier, and managing Rock Golem a little bit easier for decks that were struggling with those. Because if you hit them for 0 once, they will lose one of their plated stacks, and you can thus avoid getting locked out of those fights like you do right now. However, Emerald Dragon, it's going to have an easier time shocking you because you've got less purity access, you've got less access to multiple purity, and you no longer have Gleaming Aegis to save you. Which means I think Emerald Dragon may have gotten more difficult on this patch, but we'll have to try it and see. Anyway, none of that is the reason that this video is being recorded. This video is being recorded because The Worst on the Discord requested that I record a video with his turret Paladin deck. So that's what we're going to do. The name inspires me with great confidence. I want to get that out of the way. And let's look at the deck, because I haven't actually looked at it because looking at things is hard. So this is a hybrid turret and whatever deck. Hybrid turret and goad deck. And so right off the bat, I do not like that we don't have quick starts, because with Guardian Tactics, you want to be able to generate enough energy to feed those tactics. And without Shocking Aura, I think that's going to, that's Shocking Aura, that's not even Voltaic Surge. Ugh. So we have no good, good Paladin cards. Yeah, we don't have any copies of Voltaic Surge, we don't have any copies of Quick Start, which means we are not going to be able to effectively prevent ourselves from getting, to effectively enable picking up energy, because our only sources of energy are going to be our passives, which is a massive reduction in our ability to generate energy, which in turn means that Guardian Tactics generates Lawless Shield. My second note is that we do not have our only tough access is Careless Defense, which only gives us tough 1 until it's upgraded, which can be a problem. And then we're running Shocking Aura, which is a problem because Shocking Aura is not a good card at all. Shocking Aura, I would say, okay, it is now 8 shock to all enemies. I hadn't realized it was up to 8 now. It makes it a little bit better, but I still don't think I am a fan. But we'll see how the deck works out. I haven't played the deck yet. I could be underestimating it. Hopefully I'm underestimating. So let's see what our epics are. So you have Spry Vigor and Increasing Mana and Forbidden Rites. These all make sense. You have Peace of Mind for that purity access. You have Mana Surge. I don't know that I like dedicating 4 cards in the pool to mana. I think there are too many other valuable epics that you want for me to feel comfortable with that. For example, this means that we aren't, to go through the rest of them, we get Provoking Shove, which now gives us 1 more plated this turn, but it still triggers enemy actions twice, which is a big downside. I do think that triggering enemy actions twice is a pretty big risk. We get Sanctity, but we don't get, I would much rather have Arcane Silence over Mana Surge, I think. I would like to have Elemental Barrier as well as options, because I think both of these tend to be this one in particular, because having access to Arcane, even in small numbers, is pretty good. And Elemental Barrier giving us just another shield access is pretty nice. We do have Spirit Shield, but Spirit Shield is less shield. Although it does let us suicide our turret if we don't like our turret anymore, to save us from death. We have Rallying Command, which of course makes sense. We're trying to play a sort of summon-y deck. Ugh. Okay, so my other note, we do not have enough mana. We don't have anywhere near enough mana. This is going to be a problem, because Secret Cache is only 2 mana, and Goading Glare is difficult to rely on. And we don't have Blazing. Oh, we do have Blazing Ritual, Let me filter to... oh, I suppose we could check via the borders should tell us. Yeah. Yeah, Blazing Rituals our only source of... is one of our only 3 mana cards. And as much as I like it, it cannot hold that role. I also don't know that I'm interested in picking up more deploy turrets. That seems a bit ambitious, let's say. Shielding Bolt with no spells in the starting deck seems ambitious. Hone, when we don't have Hunt in the deck, that's, again, ambitious. Lightning Field is whatever, I guess. Warcry is good. Spirit Storm is good. Spirit Helm is good. Shielding Bolt, again, I don't think I like it. Regrowth is going to be challenging with this little mana. Regrowth tends to be a very mana-hungry card now that it only gets non-mana cards, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, the Shielding Bolt, we don't have many spells in the entire deck, which could be a problem, especially because like one of them is Goading Bolt, and you want to get your shield before you play the Goading Bolt. So that could be a problem. We may just have to treat this functionally in a lot of ways as a random deck, where we are trying to lean hard into monster cards to do a lot of carrying for us. We do have a more coherent strategy in our card pool than we would off of a random card deck, a random card selection. But overall, I think we don't have as much mana as we would have in a random deck, which could be a problem. We are going to have to aggressively hunt down mana, especially because this is a very expensive starting deck and a relatively expensive pool. So we will see how this goes. Here we go. Oh, did I remember to buy market stuff? Check if I've got anything that indicates. If I didn't get market stuff, I'm just going to abandon and do that. Okay, I didn't get market stuff. We're going to grab market stuff because I absolutely am going to need it this run. Market. Yes, I will take all of these. Thank you. That will help. Now for real, we're going to start. This is always good. And we do have Tough in the starting deck. Yeah, we're just going to take the Blessed Belt. So let's see what our elites are. So I think Toughen is our top priority. I think Toughen will do a lot to shore up the deck. Can we get Mana Wisps anywhere here? No shots at Refresh. That's unfortunate. Refresh would be great for this character. We do get a shot at Mana Dance, which is nice, and we are getting to go through Vessel of Knowledge. So we're going to go through here, and we'll see what happens. Oh, I should have sequenced this differently so that I could get energy. We are unfortunately going to explode, which is a risk when fighting those jerks. But yeah, our energy generation is just pretty rough. That helps. Let me think. Do that. Doesn't get us the kill, but just gets that. Which means we can supercharge. Which means damage. Alright, there we go. Alright. I think the turrets must have gotten nerfed slightly on this patch. Yeah, they were I think 5 base, and now they're only 2 base, which is a pretty big down tick. I think we do want to deploy shield out of these. I do like having the ability to set up the shield. Let's do that. Because I think we want to make sure that the powerful goes on there. Unfortunately, we are going to take some damage here. There's not a whole ton we can do about it. Okay. We can. Right, so this is going to mean that our shock turret is going to get to do a kill, which is nice. Let's summon another turret. Trying to think. Yes, it's worth doing that. Do I want to play this though? I think not. I think we're just going to go womp womp into see how much mana we get. Okay. Sure, giving taunt doesn't matter really a ton. Okay. Nothing here matters a ton. We're just going to get the kill off of our turrets this turn. So far our turrets are doing that we're top. That's good. I think we take the Spirit Swarm because I really like the ability to push powerful into all of our spirits. I do like having the Shadow Jerkin, but I'll just take the Might Rune because we already have the Blessed Belt. And yes, we don't have any... It may look like we don't have any spells to go with it, but also I am still sequencing wrong. I'm not used to it actually mattering that much, but here it really does. Okay. Yeah, so that Mighty does a lot more damage because of stuff. We cannot hit 0, it looks like, which is unfortunate. But we can get a kill, and we can summon. So we're making progress towards getting this kill. Ugh. Well, on the one hand, I don't love that we got hit, but because it was a crit, it hit exactly all of our shield. We got the upgraded double strike, which ended up saving us. So this gives mighty critical to all our allies, which is nice. I could take Relentless Assault, but I don't think that's really what... Oh, do I... Ah! I saw a red button. I was like, that's cancel, isn't it? I think I meant to remove the... yeah, I probably would remove the Shocking Aura, or maybe. We absolutely need to be thinking about how to cut down on total cards because we have potential problems with our total... Our mana, because we're not going to be able to get mana. We need to be aggressively removing cards, which is why it's such a big deal that I messed up and misclicked there. See how much mana that gives us. Okay. And that is one of the issues with Gambler's Focus in this particular deck, is that you don't... I should have done that first so I could get the extra punch from level 10. Anyway, you don't always know what you're going to get off of... words. Gambler's Focus. You don't know how much mana you're going to get, which can be problematic if you're trying to hit exact 0. Alright, we can give ourselves all of that. Absolutely, you're going to do this. Did this change at all? No. Okay. Didn't think it did, but I wanted to check. Do we want to leave Supercharge? I think not. I think we are fine with the shield turret applying shock. Alright. There we go. Alright, so this is going way better than I expected in the first fights. We absolutely cannot afford to not take mana anytime it's offered. There's just not enough mana in the pool. Yeah, because, yeah, this can happen. Taunting this one, turn 1 is still very good. Getting out the shield is still very good. But yeah, because now we get that bonus stack of Doom. So that gives us, although there was no way that it was going to give us a useful amount. Okay. This is annoying. We do, I guess, get some value out of that, though, which is fun. But our shock turret is toast. And our shock is blocked. Drop. Let's go summon the spirit and Warcry. I'm just going to give not weak, but everything else is going to come in. Alright. We don't have any access to cleanse right now, which is unfortunate, but we can do this. Yeah, I think we do want to get more shield because we are about to explode for a pretty good amount of damage. This does shock us, which doesn't seem great when we're about to get... And the tough doesn't seem great either right now. Rip. Okay. Fortunately, we have plenty of extra doom. Unfortunately, we are on the verge of an arcane explosion. Are we willing to eat it? And I think the answer may be yes. So let's think. Yeah, let's do that. And then I don't really want to give shield and... But I am cool with giving frenzy, I think. Okay. Don't really want to give another round of buffs, but I do want to get... I think that's probably the play. Alright. So now, that's going to work. Although we are about to lose all of our friends to... to this super attack to everyone, which scales up every time it gets played, which means that protecting summons against this vessel is just impossible, which I should have accounted for. But I did not, and it's going to cause us problems. Should have done that first. Alright, we're just going to do that, I guess. And then... just got to scrape our way to a victory. Please don't shock us. Okay, it didn't. And then... I think we just get more spirits out. So now we are going to hopefully get to see if the new plated change works. We explode, which is unfortunate. Okay, new plated change does not work. I think it lost a purity instead of losing a plated. So I need to report that. Yep. Oh, I forgot about the arcane barrier. I was thinking I wasn't going to explode because I didn't factor that in. I think it's still worth doing this though, because let's get the less possible bit of chip damage we need. Cool, we get mana. I suppose that's just the plan then, I guess, is that you're going to spend your epic card picks on getting mana. More backup mana seems good. So, upgrades. A lot of choices here. I don't know that I love the shocking aura. Like, I get that it's... I think we may have to upgrade the careless defense because that's our only way to set up tough right now. It basically depends on whether we think we can win the 75% chance of getting a tough in here. And if not, can we survive through this if we don't get any upgrades here or here? And I think the answer is probably we can. In which case, I really like Spirit Swarm because that helps flood the board faster. Yeah. Warcry is also decent. And Deploy Shield is my other thought because it is just so much shield. But I think we can also just do Gambler's Focus for the mana or Spry Vigor for the mana. Because both of those are decent mana upgrades. But I think we go Spirit Swarm because we want to be able to fill the board to start getting the bonuses for not having stuff. I think we are going to get the Shocking Aura. I'm just not a big fan. Even with applying this much shock, I think that it is not really where we want to be. I just don't think we have space for it. All right, we are going to play out So we can fill the board, which means that if we draw a Spirit Swarm, we're in good shape. I don't love that this guy hits everybody. That's very, very much an annoyance for us. So, because our squad, except for... Oh no, our entire squad, yeah, is toast. Except for the shield turret. I think you just... Because you only affect... Oh, I can't actually see the details of the action. Because that's not the card. I should have done that first. So the question is... Can we survive goading? Let's find out. Close enough. We're not going to take too much damage here. Okay, so that one lost a plated, but it wasn't... That was just the plated it always loses from the permanent effect. So I'm not sure if that was working as intended or not. Right, let's supercharge. And then in the turn and let this dork get the kill for us. All right, toughen. 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 Okay. The evasion this turn is interesting. So the advantage of taking the evasion this turn is that it means we can, against a lot of fights, this saves us just a lot of health. It does mean less shield per card, which basically shuts off the mana shield. But it's just so useful. It doesn't hurt deploy shield. And we can get sturdy by tripping status effects. Although it's harder for us to strip status effects, so I decided to cut the shocking aura. But we can get more stuff later for it. I think I'll probably pass for now. We don't need this for the next fight. The elemental dagger, I don't know that we're ever going to be doing enough hits to justify the elemental dagger. Okay. Trying to think what our best bet here is. Because I can hit 0 by playing this. Sure, I guess. I can hit 0 again. But I do still want to play this toughen. Rude. I think this is actually an Angry Spirit Plus because it's the Spirit Swarm Plus. So it's doing a little bit more damage. Alright, this actually applies weak, which is useful. Because it reduces the effect of that AoE. Alright. I don't think we have any access to cleanse, unfortunately. Let's see what kind of fan we get. Okay, so much what we draw. Okay, that gets us to this. More frenzy. I don't think we want to taunt. Because you're playing weak, I think. And you're playing poison, which we definitely don't want to taunt. Bonk. Okay. Let's go shield. So I think that's what we want most. The second one of the most. And then apply the weak out. You know, that also gives us mighty to our whole squad. It may be a good upgrade target, the Warcry, I mean. So, yeah, this is worth a lot of damage for us, potentially. I mean, obviously, that's doing anything on the shields, but, you know. I don't hate having another Spirit Swarm, actually. Because they're one of the summon cards that stacks the best. But yeah, I hadn't thought about the fact that this summons Spirit Pluses, which increases the value of playing it, because they just do more damage. Although, here we go. And now we can give just Frenzy to the front one. actually going to get out a pretty good amount of damage. Let me add a bug report. All right, let's go with that. I do want to play this toughen. I also kind of just want to give powerful out to the whole squad. That's definitely getting played. Yeah, that's worth 6 damage, basically. I suppose we're taking damage this turn because I didn't do that, but such is life. That blocks that. Get that kill. And the question is just how much do I play here before passing turn to avoid losing too much health. Alright, we took more damage than we needed to here, I think, but it's going to be fine. Now, we don't have much in the way of card draw right now, but we can just taunt that jerk to death. And that restore health was from the Forge bonus. Okay, Mana Dance. That's pretty good. I do want the Invigorate kind of, but the Mana Dance is more important. Powerful is good, I think. Because we don't have any spells, as we covered. So just having that a little bit powerful, even if the powerful only really helps with the double blades, is still fine. As far as cuts go, I don't know. I'm not in love with Goad right now, but that shield is a lot of shield. So I don't really want to cut it. I'm not sure that we need the Thriving Spirit at this point. I think the Thriving Spirit is our worst summon card by a pretty big margin. Okay, how do we hit 0? Like this. Whoop. Oh, I'm used to that being 8 because I'm used to having it upgraded. I just wasn't thinking. No, one of our summons. Which I could have known was coming, but that requires me to be paying attention, which I don't like doing. You can't make me. Fortunately, we are now bleeding. This actually does work out nicely, though, because it means we're going to counterattack for exactly enough. Our spirits are slowly going to just get got by this Reflect 1. And also the sum's going to keep being annoying. Alright. Rude. Let's give powerful to ourselves and all allies. Let's get punched for nothing. Do we supercharge now? I think we want the shield first, and then I think we supercharge. Goodbye. And then this will let us get more shield. Which is always nice. And more powerful. Okay. Right, that's not the most useful frenzy that we've ever applied, but I suppose it gives us more energy, which is nice. We do have a pretty good amount of powerful at this point. Huh. It's oh, okay. That was the fix that was instituted. That really is permanent. Okay. So the one-shot things do give you, like, Arcane doesn't beat them anymore. That's very interesting. All right, I think we have to have a purity generation. I think we want the flask, because there are going to be fights where that's very important. I kind of just want to upgrade the Spirit Swarm again. I do also want to upgrade the Spirit Vigor. I think that the Spirit Swarm continues to be kind of the value card. Although that second stack of Purity is very important, I think, for certain fights in Area 2. Will it be important for the mid-boss is the question. Because if not, we can just pick up that upgrade at the mid-boss. Maybe take Spirit Swarm because it's more valuable pre-mid-boss. And I am reasonably happy with where the deck is at right now. I still don't love the Careless Defense, but what are you going to do? Okay, so normally I would prioritize this, but with the nerf to that, and the fact that Pulverize is just so good on this character, and we do have the Toughen, so we can get tough, I think I do like going this way. Especially because we are going to be doing powerful stacking. So playing that doesn't make a ton of sense. We're just going to get set on fire, which happens. Sometimes you just get set on fire. That's life. That is unfortunately kind of our worst summon as far as dealing with these jackwagons goes. I think we want to freeze one of them just to prevent some of this incoming. We are taking a bunch of damage anyway. Not much we can do. There is our Toughen. Might actually make sense to upgrade that at some point. I chose poorly. It's fine. We do get some shield here, which is nice. But yeah, I really need to get spirits out because they deal with the who's more for us. The annoying oh, we have that to break glass in case of emergency. They get rid of the evasion for us. The spirits do, which these guys are pretty bad at. Although this dork is going to die as long as I don't goad it, so I'm not going to goad it. Bonk. Get some of our shield back. Like, I don't regret having the shield, but I kind of regret this one. Although, yeah, no, that's the correct answer. Even though yeah, because just getting through 2 stacks of evasion is very nice. Doesn't actually do anything for us, but it does mean that that poor shield turret is going to be dealing with everything this turn. Oof. Okay. Well, I don't need the shield turret. It's fine. I didn't want the shield turret anyway. Shock you because it's funny. And then this one's going to be dead, so we only have to worry about taking 12 damage. Although we aren't going to be able to deal with 12 damage. Minor details. See, we have a Toughen. Everything's fine. Everything's going great. We are going to be set on fire again. But we get the kill. Let me think. Do we need a third spirit? I think we just take an invigorate at this point. Focus on your awareness. Sure. Do we want this? I don't think we do. That seems very risky. Do we want this? We're not fighting any arcane enemies. I think this is actually more valuable because we have the ability to stack powerful. But we are fighting these arcane enemies, but it'll be fine. There's only 2 of them. How much could they possibly hurt? And we have this, which actually does help. Yeah, we have room for all of this, so everybody get in here. I think we do freeze you to shut you down for the turn, so that we don't get exploded. It also means that next turn, this one won't be capable of applying an arcane detonation. Well, because it won't have the rune, which makes goading it safe, which is nice. Although we don't have, I suppose we have reflect 1. And then we can just do that to get the kill because we can. Bite. All right, goading bolt. No, we'll take the gathering bolt actually. The other G bolt that we had an option to take. Okay, this is kind of an awkward opening turn. We do get to evade the hit, and then we explode and we lose some value, but it's not a big deal. Okay. Having the shield be our dedicated summon doesn't seem great. Yeah, it's fine. We do want to have shield, and we don't really have other shield access really, so. Mostly I think what we're going to be doing. Okay, so. I wonder how that works exactly. Is all of our powerful permanent? Because that's not how it's supposed to work, I think. Rude. All right. It might be time to break glass in case of emergency. Yeah, because we can do this into Spirit Storm if we need to. If we didn't need to, but I wanted to. We're more powerful. Which, useless on this dork, but useful for us. Alright, we can play this. Just for the extra sturdy, even though, yeah, sure, why not? We didn't need to do it, but I wanted to. Because we're evading this incoming hit, and then we aren't quite exploding. Let's see if we explode. We do! Hooray! Which gets us more sturdy, technically. Fun side effect. Blow up your other plated stack. Let's do that. I just gonna get the shield out, I think. It is baffling to me that the front one is the one that does the AoE attacks. Alright. How much powerful do we have now? 9? Is that enough? It's gotta be. Supercharge! Alright. Womp womp. Draw some cards. Okay, now that was mana, but it doesn't matter. We get a kill. And we get the other kill. Yeah, this is going way better than expected. We could take Pulverize. I kind of just want to take an increasing mana. The Forbidden Rise is actually pretty bad. I forgot because it will delete our summons, which makes it actually very bad in this deck. Normally it's pretty good in the Goad deck. So if I take this and I upgrade some mana, will we be okay? We'll find out. This is bad for us. This doesn't do anything for us. We'll take that. That's actually okay. Spry Vigorous plus is pretty good. And then we cut, I don't know. Invigorate feels pretty questionable. All right, let's see if we can get a shocking focus. I guess we do need to play this before we play that. I really want to play this, but this just does that. So, does 35. We've got permanent. There's no reason to do that now. Do I want another? Yeah. Sure. We are unfortunately going to be overcharged, which means that we're going to be shocked. Which, why didn't we get overcharged? I wasn't pure, was I? I was not. Oh, that's what happened. This guy was taunted. Nice going, genius. So this poor fool, this absolute rube, this stupendous numbskull, overcharged our turret, who cannot draw cards, and thus will never suffer any ill effects. Which seems good for us. So we can now summon in another spirit, which I guess we'll do. All right, let's see if this plate actually goes away. No. Guess we're just going to do that. Fortunately, these dorks do slowly get stronger. Which should eventually allow them to overcome. And we will eventually gain the ability to get them more powerful. We just have absolutely no card draw. Which is a little bit annoying. So we don't have absolutely no card draw, we just don't have much card draw. I do think I want to play that, because that should get us this kill. Although, let me think. 14 plus 15 plus, that's 29 plus 8 is 37. So it's not, because I wanted to, because if they were going to get the kill anyway, oh, we could use this. I would like to be able to redirect. I suppose it doesn't matter. Because I was going to say I would like to be able to redirect the overcharge that's going to come out this turn. Huh. And then the Phoenix did nothing. I'm just going to, I think, link this whole video to, I'm just going to link this entire timestamp, this entire fight, because it seems like some screwy stuff is happening. Because this Phoenix just didn't do anything on its turn after it was killed by summons. Okay, let me pause this to send an in-game error report real quick. All right. We now return you to your already scheduled beating, already in progress. Let's do that. Pop off one of those plated stacks. Okay, so we are losing powerful down to our permanent powerful. So that's fun and weird. I need to keep a closer eye on that. Oh, somebody's suggesting that the permanent play at powerful is going up every fight. That may be what's going on. Huh. That's interesting. I think we may actually want the lightning breath for the shock. Do we, or no, the mana is just too important, I think. I don't know that I love the turrets at this point. They scale up pretty slow. Yeah, okay, we are definitely just permanently stacking powerful. That seems good. All right. Let's do that. Pop it. Okay, yeah, so that trinket's pretty good if it's going to give me one more powerful for every fight after I pick it up. Let's just pulverize, I guess. Oh, we're not tough, so we didn't get the full bonus. Unfortunate. We can do 40 damage with that. We absolutely need to freeze somebody. Let's freeze you because of the critical. So yeah, let's watch this. We're now at 8 powerful. Right. Let's get one burn. One burn should be fine. Alright. Yeah, at end of turn we lose a powerful stack. Seems unfortunate. I mean, it's nothing compared to the fact that you're gaining a permanent powerful stack every single fight, but I wonder if we'd keep it after if we swapped off whatever. Not worth risking it. Yeah, Devouring Strike seems pretty good when you've got a lot of stacking powerful. That seems okay, but we already have the mana crystal. I don't think I necessarily need it. And we'll just take, neither of these is particularly amazing. We'll just take the starting growth. It's whatever. Anyway, I think we set up a shield. We are regrettably going to be set on fire. All right. Let's go spirits. Frenzy on the spirits. We are now very much on fire. I don't think that number is correct. I could be wrong. Okay, no, it's just this poor dragon. Only 1 damage. Really? Ouch. With 7 with 7 burn. Maybe I'm just overestimating how much it should be doing. All right. Let's pop you. All right. All right. Am I tough? Yes. I'm going to do that. And then, absolutely, let's do that. And then, start with this. So we can try and get as much of that kill as we can. And we can summon a Spirit Swarm. Help us chip through the rest of this evasion. Let's pop you twice. Now we should be safe to do that. And punch you. See how much damage we take here. 2. 5. I think something's up with the scaling on Ruby Dragon. I don't have anything reducing. Nope. All right. I mean, and now we're... This poor dragon. Well, we have been the beneficiary of several bugs this run, I would say. I think we just take more mana. I think we upgrade... Do we have any card draw? I guess technically the secret cache is card draw. We just upgrade the pulverize, just hit more times. Alright, let me think. Do I want to cut anything? I think one deploy turret's fine. Is the Devouring Strike? Yeah, the Devouring Strike seems great. Seems hilarious. The Chaos Defense seems kind of sketch. We are absolutely going to go through both of these dorks. This dork's unfriendly. But so are we. So, you know. Cannot really throw stones from my glass house. Up to 8 powerful. And now we take hits. But we do get a perfect counterattack, which is nifty. We take without poison blood. Also nifty. We are, however, still taking a bunch of poison damage, which is less nifty. Yeah, screw it. Freeze. May as well. Yeah, we just fill the board. Sure. We will lose some health here, though, unfortunately. It's fine. Didn't quite get that kill. Oh, no! It's very rude. Well, there's the kill. Bite. Do we want another one of these? I don't think we need it, but I'll take another blazing rifle, sure. That seems okay, but this is just so good at this point. This is better. Extra shield gain by cards is nice. All right. Let's get some friendos. More friendos. And in his turn. See what. Rip. It got critical. So that is going to use that charge up before it gets us all of that mana. So that is 18x3, so we'll just do 13x5. And this is, I don't think lethal, but it gets us pretty close. And then you guys are going to wrap it up for us. Let's go ahead and just freeze you. Womp. Well, seems good. Yeah, lack of card draw means we get a decent amount of those really awkward nothing turns. But again, we are cheating pretty hard thanks to our... Okay, that prediction did not do the damage it said it was going to do, I think. I don't think we evaded any of that. Let's see how much damage we do here. Sure, lethal. Take it. Persecute's pretty good. Secret Cache is kind of card draw though, so we're on that plan. Okay. We have room for... I think we do this. Get one of each. Yeah, we're up to 10 permanent powerful at this point. We are going to eat an explosion, but it's not going to matter. We are too powerful for such things. You are fools. Let's draw some cards, see what we get. Okay, blow you up. Do we play this yet? I don't think so. Do we play this? No. That works out nicely. Let's go. Play that. Play that. That's still not quite lethal, unfortunately. You're already getting offed by this, so we'll just freeze you. And just go and get Frenzy. All right. I think we should be able to now punch for a lot of damage. So we draw. Sure, as well. We don't really need that. Goodbye. And you have up that counterattack, so let's not. Rude. See if we explode. Of course we do. We could still attack for 45. I think we can do better. Yeah, this is worth it. Oop. Alas, our poor spirit is slowly dying. Sure. So let's just get all of that. And we can pop off one of those plated stacks finally. More powerful. And we're now pretty safe to do that. And yeah, for 14x5 we will explode. Goodbye. I didn't quite kill it, but you know, close enough. Shield for us. More shield for us. Bonk. Cleanse. Thank you. We probably don't need the Devouring Strike, but again, I want it, so we're keeping it. Do we need 2 Blazing Rituals? Probably not. Who's our boss? It is Ma. Okay, so the cleanse is going to help a lot. Also, I didn't set out to cheat. It's not my fault. Oh, so close. We are going to get the kill anyway. Probably could have gotten like 1 more shield and then went off to level 1. Or level 10 from the extra bonus we would have gotten, but alas. I probably could have gotten through that as well, but alas. Alright. Rude. Summon. Get powerful. Oh. Yeah, summons are going to explode. It happens. It's time to play Will We Explode? Hey, we didn't explode. And we get to take away the Arcane whatever. The Arcane Barrier. So our summons don't explode this turn at least. They're going to explode next. I should have frozen it to prevent it from doing that again. Alas. I was not on the ball. I can give shield to the first enemy and then it will die. Which doesn't seem great for it. Yeah, that 1 turn of buff room actually ends up helping a bunch because it means they're not going to explode until next turn. Yeah, this time we'll absolutely freeze out that. Bonk, 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 bonk. We win. Yep, we will take a prismatic shield. It's also pretty good. Or do we roll for another? Yeah, we want kind of another shield card, I think. Yep. Even more shield gained by cards. We are now up to 8 shield out of our mana shields. Which seems like an okay amount. I'm having fun. Are you having fun? Yeah, so that's 70 damage. Pretty okay. I don't think we even need to do that. We'll just eat some damage here, it's fine. There we go. You can have a word with my assistant. Mr. Buff. Alright. Cool, this gets us the kill. Which heals us. And then we can pulverize. Unfortunately, we weren't tough, so the pulverizing was less impactful than we would have liked. Nice, we got those evades, which helped quite a bit. Now we're tough. charge. Do a bunch of damage. Even more powerful for our spirits, which is fun. And ponk, 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 ponk. Thanks for playing. Just have to get one hit through. Just have to get one hit through. There we go. Took 4 hits, but we got there. And we will take a Hunter's Focus. That seems okay. Oh, okay. So apparently the drakes were changed to be coordinated, which is why they were always so ham on turn 1. Let's see. We may as well do that. So we're going to do this. I don't really want the turret, I think. Freeze you. Just get one of these. Alright. So ideally, we would want to be tough. Doesn't look like that's in the cards. But we are at least going to avoid actually taking any curse there, which is nice. 5. Cleanse. Did we have 2 weak? I will need to check the VOD. I think the cleanse just didn't do anything to our weak. But I could have just been not paying attention. I am notably blind. Maybe we should cut the guardian tactics. I don't know if they're doing anything for us. Well, I say that. Maybe they are. Alright. So we have 1 curse, which is a very manageable amount of curse. Alright, I'm totally fine with sacrificing our shield. Goodbye, shield. You served us well. When I say goodbye, it may be time for... oh, right, we aren't tough. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, we need to, I think, cut some cards so we can just get tough more often. Okay. Any damage? There we go. And bonk, bonk, bonk. I think Gamble is too risky. I think Spirit Shield is a little underwhelming. Sanctity is great. Finally some card draw. None of this is great. We will upgrade... I was going to upgrade the Clear Folks, but now I think we upgrade the Sanctity for the extra draw. I think we cut one of the Guardian Tactics. I think they're kind of our worst cards at this point. I think we're going to go Event, Elite, Snail Event. That doesn't seem amazing here. All right. So this will actually draw us. I was not quite the card I was hoping to find. We are up to 14 temporary powerful, or sorry, 14 permanent powerful, which is pretty good. Freeze the back one. Eat some damage, but it's fine. It's all fine. Toughen. Love to see it. Yeah. Yeah, the main reason I don't like the whatever is it because I went hard on making sure we picked up enough mana. I wasn't thinking about the fact that the mana is less valuable when we have no card draw, which is why we keep ending up at extra mana, despite me starting the thing by saying like we were going to have so many mana problems, is that we don't have any card draw. So we can't leverage any of that mana. Okay, so cleanse worked properly there. Yep. Yeah, this run absolutely was just defined by that ludicrous amount of powerful that we got. Because just starting every fight with infinity powerful, it turns out it makes runs easier. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because reflectors are permanent powerful. That's why that looks so absurd. Secret Cache Plus seems probably good, because I think that, I think that's the extra treasures or more card draw, which is kind of where we want to be. This is not going to be lethal damage, right? 19 means that it is just right. Yeah, it's not lethal. In which case, I didn't want to burn all my purity on poison blood stacks. This seems like a decent time to do it though, because now I do that first. Is that lethal? It's close enough. Yep, go away. I'm sorry, you just were not prepared for this level of nonsense. And now you shall die. Do that. Oh, I meant to do the cleanse first. Alright. Let's freeze out that because that's the AoE attack. That's very rude. That's through the tough. Wow, okay. Okay, I didn't expect it to be that much damage. Through tough. What is this nonsense? What is through 50% tough? What the heck? Okay, I don't think I actually took 40 though. So that's something. Yeah, apparently so the base is 40. So it's a very big hit for a non-elite enemy. Although I suppose it doesn't hit for the first couple turns, so that's supposed to make up for it. Alright. And now this shell is going to be me. Very rude. See what we can draw. If we can just get a little bit of healing, we would take it. No such luck. It's fine. Pulverized. I still need to try poison on this patch to try some of the new poison cards. This is a little bit better technically. Not that anything matters. We are going into this with just... I think we can afford to cut one of our And we can afford to cut the Gambler's Focus. We can probably also afford to cut the Blazing... I don't like cutting mana that much. We could probably cut the Devouring Strike and the Blazing Ritual. And that should be fine. Oh, that was not the button I meant to press. It's fine. Let's get energy. And let's just go. Yeah, let's just go. Okay. All right. And yeah, let's just go and do. Because we had those crits. Rude. Fortunately, there's no way to cleanse our allies, so our allies are just toast. Oh, I played that first. Get the guaranteed crits. We can cleanse ourselves. Okay, that did work properly. I must have just been imagining things the time that I thought it didn't. I think we just had 2 weak and I just wasn't paying attention. Okay, so because the cleanse is so strong now, I think we're safe to just play these. Pop you. Frenzy you. Doot, 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 doot. And then you're just going to be super doomed. Oh no, that was an AoE. Oh, so that's why that's 2 things, because one of them is an AoE and one of them wasn't. I hadn't seen that with 2 yet, so I wasn't sure why that was doing that. I do want to re-up the tough here, but let's first just do this. Into that. Draw a couple cards. Sure. Go cleanse, which is going to get rid of half of our curse, and then remove 2 more. So all of our curse just melts. It's beautiful. Sure, we'll pop you. And then we get even more shield off of this. Goodbye. Completely fair. Nothing to do with the thing. All right, so yeah, there was, let me... ba-doop-ba-doop. All right, I should just end this video because there's no point in you guys listening to me type. So yeah, that was fun. I will see you guys next time. Toodles.